So hi everyone, today we are going to look at changing the flush in a wall hung toilet. So I came down today to see my small flush button doing this. The big flush is still working, but it's the small one's just completely stopped working. So I bought a new flush system. We're going to take the faceplate off and give it a go trying to change the entire unit. This is a Geberit system with this particular cistern I think is a Sigma UP720. Well, that's the part I bought anyway, so hopefully it will all fit. So yeah, first thing we're going to do is take the flush plate off. So to do that on this one, you just lift it up, rock it forwards from the bottom, hopefully, or from the top. There we go, and it just pops off like that. So just set that down. So you've got two tabs either side, these little blue tabs. You pull these down, push this one up, and then that allows you to twist these releases here. And this just lifts out like that. Then in order to get the faceplate off, there's just two little tabs. If you look down here at the top, you just push those tabs down. And the faceplate comes off. As you can see, this is the small flush that's broken, and that's the big flush that's still working, which is good because we need to empty the cistern before we start. So the first thing we're going to do is isolate the water. If you look into the hole, you can see just at the top here we've got an isolation valve for the water, so we're just going to turn that clockwise and turn the water off. That's nice and tight. Now we should be able to empty the cistern. There we go, because we disconnected the water, obviously it's not filling back up again, which is what we want. So the next thing we want to do is take out this section here, which literally just lifts out nice and easily. There's a couple of little hooks where it connects to the flush itself. So we just drop that off. Right, so what we're going to need to do is there's the float that's on the right hand side here. This whole mechanism here needs to come out because you won't be able to get the flush mechanism out without taking this out first. So the first thing we've got to do is disconnect the hose from the inlet so we can take the whole system out, and then we can look at taking the flush out. So to do that, we're just going to disconnect the hose from here. There we go. And then if you look here, there's just there's a blue tab. I don't know if you can see, blue tab here, which just releases this system from the wall. And then that allows us to get this out. I think maybe it's easier to disconnect. I'll just disconnect the pipe here. There we go. That's the float. Right, and now we should be able to get the flush mechanism out. Okay, so one thing you need to do at the top of the flush system, these handles drop down, and the small flush does as well. You can fold that down 90 degrees. And you can actually, if you just pull this lightly, it comes off. Make sure not to drop that in the cistern, otherwise it'll be a nightmare trying to get it out. So once we've got the small flush arm off, you then need to disconnect the large flush arm, which is here. So to do that, you just twist the top and that lifts off like so. And then with a little bit of jigging around, we can get the rest of the flush system out. Okay, so this might be difficult to see, but here and here at the top of the small flush, there's a couple of tabs that have actually broken off, which is why the small flush is no longer working. If you look at the new one, side by side here, those tabs, can you see there? Those tabs are present and they stop that coming off, whereas these tabs have broken off, which is why this just slides straight up and why our small flush isn't working anymore. So in order to fix that, we do have to have a new unit, which is this one. So we're going to now do the reverse of what we just done and put this unit back in. So to do that, we're going to start in reverse, put the flush unit back through the hole. Now, if you can see in the bottom, there is a sort of a seating area for the flush, and we want the flush to sit back in that groove just there. So the first thing we need to do is put the large flush handle back on. You just slot it in, and we're just trying to line up, just slot in and twist. Like so, that's the large flush back on. Then we want to get the small flush handle, clip that back on. There we are, and then just seat this back into the seating hole at the bottom. Like so. Now we need to put the filler and float back in. So again, just the reverse, this just goes back in here, and then just clips back into place. And then we need to reattach the hose. Do this one first. Screw that up nice and tight, then this one. Next we need to reattach the flush buttons, and if you look on the button itself you can see there's two little hooks, one here and one here. This is for your small flush, this is for your large flush, and you just need to make sure these hooks hook back onto the flush rods here. So we'll just hook those in, and then this unit just clips back into place, like so. Next we need to turn the water back on. So just undo the isolation valve. And the toilet will fill back up with water again, or cistern rather. What we'll do is we'll just wait to make sure that it switches off. Excellent, we'll just check for leaks, make sure we haven't got any leaks around here where we've reattached the hosing, everything seems dry. So at that point we're ready to reattach the faceplate. Which goes in like this and clips shut. Reattach this plate. This is all just the reverse of what we did to take the unit out. These just swivel around, just lock in place, secured with the blue tabs. Then we put the flush plate back on. And then hopefully we have a working small flush. And there we go. I hope that was useful. If it was, make sure to like the video and see you on the next one.